Welcome, Scorpio, to your December forecast and your Counsel card. As is more traditional in the video 4-card spread, we do a slight recap, a very slight recap of the previous month. And so I'll just do that briefly. It was the month of December had the Queen of Wands in the position of the overall environment of the month. So it is a month of independent, fiery, entrepreneurial, visionary, artistic, energetic force that's propelling the entire month forward. So it's a dynamic month with a few, well, shall we say, challenges. Though the challenge is the Page of Wands. So it's again to have that kind of new mind, that way of looking at your project or at your idea in a brand new way. Fresh thinking, young thinking, novel thinking is your challenge. Thinking or envisioning, being inspired by a new concept. 10 of Wands reversed was your unexpected. And I've a Scorpio rising, I want to tell you, so I know this very well. And when you have this card in reverse, it either is a positive sign, meaning that you can finally put your burden down. In a sense, you feel that you can put your burden down. I'll give you an example. My automobile is always giving me problems. And the fact that I had to spend so much money on it this month was the 10 of Wands reversed. It is a burden, almost a severe burden. And it's unexpected. So you really do feel you have to shoulder this. But nonetheless, after it's done, it's a 10. So you manage to do it. You manage to carry the load, you see, at the end of which it feels you've unburdened yourself. And in effect, I have unburdened myself with those things that needed attention in my car. And so I bring that only as an example for you. Now, the 3 of Pentacles is also reversed as the outcome, meaning that it is hard to get a collaborative project off the ground, or cooperation within your work environment may be less than ideal. So that's a summary. There are many variations, but I don't think I should prolong. So I want to get right to your 4-card spread for the month of January 2016. By the way, Happy New Year, Scorpio. So let's begin. Scorpio, you have a grand beginning. You begin with an ace of Pentacles. This is a very strong, powerful, well-grounded start of something that you're trying to manifest in the material world. It can be a new career, a new job, a new idea, a new purchase, property, an investment, anything that has potential to provide you with future financial security. The pentacle is huge. as it appears in the card. Large, suggesting, indicating something powerful, meaningful, significant, something that has a future. There's a lush garden beneath the hand holding the single pentacle, suggesting, symbolically, that this is the seed that will grow into a beautiful garden that must be well tended and kept with your vigilance, attention, but it is a thing of beauty. That is, you are taken with it. This tangible something that will provide you with future stability and centeredness, in a sense, life-centeredness. It can even mean the return of health on a very physical level. You are starting to regain command and control over your health as well. So, we start with that. Let's see where we go. Moving into the challenge position, we have a major arcana card, and that is strength, upright. Well, you know, there are more or less obvious symbolic meanings in cards, but this one you can read just by looking at it. This is inner strength, self-control, control of yourself ultimately allows you to control your environment. The challenge then is that self-control. The lion is symbolic of our lower, shall we say, instincts, passions, that which drives us to behave in ways that are sometimes contrary to our best interest. The shadowy side of the psyche. And if you look at the card, it is the higher self in the form of the female psyche, controlling the lower self, acknowledging it, that it's there in the first place, embracing it totally, and then transforming it into higher ideals. Having total faith and trust in the goodness of oneself and the ability to adhere to the laws of love, kindness, fearlessness, compassion. These are also some of those shadowy sides of ourselves that we need to overcome. But it could be simply appetites too, as when one is on a diet or when one is trying to become healthy. So it is the ability to govern oneself. So that is in the challenge position. One can see that when presented with this literally golden opportunity to meet its many demands. Strength is necessary, inner strength. So this is our challenge. And then unexpectedly, we have charity. Charity, the Six of Pentacles, upright. Mind you, all these cards are upright. I don't know if I neglected to mention that. Six of Pentacles upright. This is generosity, either received or given. If it is given, then you are cheerful, happy to receive, graceful in your acceptance of help. Then if it is you who are to give charity, and it does not necessarily have to be purely in the realm of the material, it can be your kindness, bringing joy to others. If that is it, then you find opportunity to show your generosity. It's a very spiritual card, because the merchant, the wealthy merchant who is giving alms to the poor, holds a scale of justice in his hand. That's divine mercy. That's the rule of love. So, at some point, the blessedness of mercy is felt one way or the other. And let us see how the month culminates. So how interesting, because remember, at the end of last month, we had the 10 of Wands reversed in the unexpected. It was sort of an unexpected calamity, perhaps, that you managed to surmount one way or the other. Well, we have the 10 of Wands upright now. And you see, yes, this card is, the symbolism in the card has a sort of dual nature, because he's a merchant or a farmer carrying his abundant harvest to market. But you see, that harvest also has him bent over, meaning there is a certain amount of burden to success, to the fulfillment of a particular goal, dream, or vision. There's a lot of energy in the card. It's full of those energetic colors of red, orange, and yellow. So there's a lot of energy, particularly at the end of the month. And you bring in your bounty, which is very rich and full of accomplishment, your accomplishment. It contains your enthusiasm. And this enthusiasm may very well just consume you. And the card is about discipline and ambition. Remember, that was your challenge. So at the end of the month, you're tested on that ability to meet the challenge of hard work and the discipline that it takes to succeed. So What a lovely ending. Not always good things. It can be a burden as well as a joy. And that's what we have at the end of the month, which is good news, really, I believe. And so let us see what Spirit has in the way of counsel for you for the month of January 2016. So we have the Hierophant as your counsel, Scorpio. That is the Pope. That is the priest, the Hierophant, the symbol of religious tradition. When you look at the card, it represents the pillars of a tradition, the doctrine of that tradition, the ritual of that tradition, and practicing devotionally the tenets, the prescriptions of that tradition. So I think that what Spirit is saying is that this month, it's very important for you to be, in a sense, more regimented, to do ritualistic behaviors, conduct that creates a smooth, rippleless, turbulentlessness in your life. Without turbulence is what I'm saying. To keep your life on the straight and narrow. To be faithful to a practice, whether that be a health regime, a spiritual regime, a work regime, a life regime, a study regime. This is devotion to that. Paying attention to the discipline, the moral, ethical discipline of whatever religious or health or cultural ideal you wish to follow. So, it's not abandoning your principles, but staying close to a regimented way of behaving for this month, because it will make that burden a lot easier, that 10 of Wands, to take your goals to their successful completion, and to find the inner strength to accomplish this is by setting yourself rules and regulations, and then being faithful to them. So this is, I think, very good advice. And I hope that you don't find that a burden. We often find restrictions to our freedoms, shall we say, to be mentally burdensome. But when those restrictions result in you accomplishing your higher aims, then the rewards far exceed the inconvenience or the restriction on your freedoms. This is the primary wise counsel coming from this card. It is one of the most spiritual cards in the deck, of course, being that the priest is the go-between between you and God. Sometimes it means you are to take the role of someone who is the go-between. In other words, to interpret and to lead others around you by example, by the wisdom and the knowledge that you hold in the form of an example, you becoming an example for others. This may well be too another beautiful role that leads to your higher spiritual attainment as well. So let's leave it at that, dear Scorpio. I think you have your work cut out for you this month, but the tremendous rewards on a level of vision, passion, art, meeting your goals and being successful is well worth whatever sacrifices you have to make along the way. Be generous and accept generosity also with a light heart. Thank you, Scorpio, and Happy New Year.